You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever bring you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever bring you down. This is Pink Firefly's dog, if you can call it that. It's more like a rat turd. This is Bells. Say hi, Bells. You're not irritating at all, Bells, ever. When people come to the door and you bark 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 and you bark, and that's not irritating at all. Bells, look at the camera. You got to see. This is so when people see Bells, they're like, "Oh, she's so tiny. Is she like 2 months?" You're like, "No, she's 6 years old. This is fully grown. This fucking thing." Pink Firefly had to pay extra for this dog to make it smaller. So the smaller dog costs more money. Was it like an extra $1,000? Well, how much extra was this dog? Yeah. Extra $1,000 because she wanted something smaller. Teacup, right. Yeah, it's great. All right, Bells, you need to go. Okay, you need to go fuck off. Go see your mom. How are you? This is a live stream. So we'll be a little raw, as you can tell. How are we doing on the audio and everything? I'll wait for more people to file in, and then we'll get going. As you can tell, I am in our second apartment here in Dubai. I now have 2 apartments in Dubai. We're in transition. You can see some boxes over there. There's boxes like all over this shit, mostly Pink Firefly's boxes. So we're here until we find our official home. We're looking at houses next week. We were going to look at houses this week, but this week is Eid, which is the Muslim Christmas. So everything's closed. So it's, not really going to work out. So next week. Let's see. Let's look at some comments as I'm getting ready here. Cool. Sup, Mr. Friday. Sup. What's going on here? Hide. Still learning the system here. Now, why is my picture? Why does it look like that? I don't get it. I have an agenda today, and a little later, Henry will be joining us because he is. I like success stories from my audience, and he is a huge Alpha Male 2.0 success story, and so he'll be joining us in a while, about half an hour. I do have a rough agenda, but I don't have a specific outline. So I'm going to see if I can do, one of these live streams. Where's my water? I forgot my water. I need to go get my water. I'll be right back. Hang on. Live stream. Can you press pause on a live stream? I don't think you can you? Okay, there we go. Pink Firefly just shut the door because certainly we're going to have a delivery and the doorbell's going to ring and her fucking dog is going to go insane. You will hear firsthand how her dog sounds whenever the doorbell is pressed. It's great. Let's see. No, this is a real apartment. This is not a background. I just explained it. This is my temporary apartment. I have 2 apartments in Dubai. I have one that I already have, and then one Pink Firefly and I are sharing with all of our boxes and shit until we move to our real home. Anyway, what I was saying was I want to see if I can do a live stream without a specific outline. Pretty sure I can. One of my superpowers, I can speak extemporaneously on various topics. So I do have an overview, but we'll see how we do. How are we doing on people filing in here? Why is everyone saying R.I.P. Kevin Samuels? Am I supposed to know this? Do I know who Kevin Samuels is? Do I need to Google this really quick? Hang on. Am I an idiot for not knowing who this is? I don't know. Kevin Samuels has passed away. Who is Kevin Samuels? Do I need to? Oh, he's a YouTuber? Known for his controversial relationship advice. Do I know who this is? And I just didn't realize put his face to a name. Hang on a sec. Let me check the images here. Oh, okay. I do know who this is. Oh, he's dead? I didn't know. As I have said before in the past, I have lots of other things going on in my life and lots of companies to run. And I do not spend a lot of time consuming the content of other dating coaches or red pill guys or even other guys in the Five Flags space. I really don't spend a lot of time consuming their content because I'm kind of fucking busy. So guys will often ask me, you've seen this in the live streams, but you've seen this in other formats. Guys, what do you think about such and such? I'm like, I don't know. I've never seen his video. Cool. Had a heart attack. Really? That's horrible. So, speaking of heart attacks and getting fat, I have just initiated something in my life that I've never initiated before in regards to my fitness. I'm officially starting this in 10 days from now. I was advised someone on YouTube is involved in this, a big YouTuber, and I discussed with him. I just got off the phone with him about an hour or two ago. Discussed with him ways in which we can utilize this content for what I'm about to do. I can't talk about it. And I had an idea, and he said, you know what would be a much better idea, Caleb, is if you did this on your YouTube channel and this instead of what I had in mind. And he does YouTube much better than I do because he's a YouTube guy. He's a YouTube fitness guy. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not even going to give a hint to who he is. But he's like, you should do this instead. So we're going to do that. I can't tell you what it is because it would ruin it. But I'm starting something new. More on that a little later. Let's see. Any other comments before we get started? How does having a dog work in a Muslim country? Please don't throw your shoes at me. So here's the deal. Dubai is barely Muslim. Saying Dubai is Muslim is like saying America is Christian. Is America Christian? No. It's kind of the same thing. So they do the call to prayer here about 4 or 5 times a day, even at the malls. It's very beautiful, actually. I listened on YouTube. It's great. But what you're supposed to, if you're a real Muslim, you're supposed to stop and point to Mecca and do the bowing and stuff, right? They don't really do that here. They just keep fucking on their iPhones, just like everyone else. So there you go. So it's not really, Muslim in that respect. Now, if you were in Saudi Arabia, different story. Although they're now starting to liberalize because Saudi Arabia, women can now drive in Saudi Arabia. American movie theaters have opened up in Saudi Arabia. You could hold hands in malls in Saudi Arabia. This is new in just the last 3 years. So, it's all changing. No, I am not jabbed. I did a whole YouTube video. You can search my channel for, cerveza sickness jab. I am not. At least so far, so good. Did you ever buy farmland in San Este, Paraguay? How do I answer that question? No, not there. Not in San Este. That's all I can say. Kino Body. I've seen him. Like saying America's land of the free. Yeah, no kidding. You seem really happy more than usual. I don't seem happy? I teach happiness. I don't seem happy to you? What the fuck is that? Yes, I'm very happy. No, this week has actually been very stressful. It's been a fucking nightmare. All the logistics, getting Pink Firefly's residency, getting her phone, moving around. I'm living between 2 apartments right now. It's been kind of a fucking mess. Getting our boxes shipped over from the U.S. Pink Firefly has a lot of fucking crap. Excuse me. Pink Firefly has a lot of clothing. We shipped. I already talked to the guys about the SMIC program. Guys in the SMIC program about this. We had to ship 47 boxes, large boxes of stuff that couldn't fit on the plane with us. That's in addition to like the 1450 we were able to put on the plane. 43 of the 47 is her shit. 3 boxes are mine. There you go. The beauty of being a man, right? The call to prayer happens. You don't have to start bowing, but yeah, you should be looking at your phone. Yeah, they do. The Muslims in Dubai do not give a rat fuck. They're like, yeah, whatever. All right. Should we get started here? Let's see. Caleb is the jolliest content creator, always laughing maniacally. Yes. Now, does jolly imply that I'm fat like Santa Claus? Is that the implication? No, just kidding. Big Firefly, do you have anything to add? Hi.
No, the food's coming in 1 minute.
The food is coming in 1 minute. So they have DoorDash here. It's not called DoorDash. It's called Talabat and Deliveroo. So you're going to, in 1 minute, that's why I haven't got started yet. See, I'm strategic. So there's the doorbell. There's the dog. The dog's actually very quiet. Pink Firefly is very effectively and efficiently going to get her food. Pink Firefly has very long hair. Her hair goes past her butt.
I'm gonna eat now.
Go and eat. Eat mine too.
Okay.
All right, have fun.
You don't want yours, right?
Ever?
Right now?
No, I'm doing a live stream.
Okay, have fun.
All right, thank you. You can eat mine. Get a big fat ass. Do you think Bitcoin or Ethereum will emerge as the most dominant crypto? Well, Bitcoin is the most dominant crypto. As an emerged, it is the most dominant crypto, but I don't really consider at this point Bitcoin cryptocurrency. It's really not currency. How many people do you know now buy shit with Bitcoin? There's some, maybe in more third world areas of the world, but in terms of the West, people buy it and hold it as an investment, right? That's what they do. So there you go. All right, should we get started? What are my religious views? You're guessing I'm an atheist or an agnostic. You are correct, sir. I am an agnostic. Agnostic. Hang on, I need a drink. Hang on a second. I need a drink. After this week, I need a drink. You need a drink, sweetheart? Yeah. You should have gotten vodka. I have that phone number where they'll deliver alcohol to your house. Yeah. I might have vodka over the other apartment. You want it? I might have some Grey Goose over there.
Maybe.
All right, I'm gonna bring it over. I have written articles on my religious views. I am an agnostic. I am not an atheist. I don't say there is no God, and I know for sure. And if you believe in God, you're an idiot. Well, that's just as dumb as saying there's a God, and if you're gay, you're going to hell. That's just as dumb. So the hardcore atheists are just as irrational as hardcore religionists. I could do a whole thing on that. You don't want me to. I am 70% in the zone of believing in simulation theory. I don't believe in it, but I'm 70% there because, as I've written my blogs, it is the only explanation I have heard that explains everything. Christianity doesn't explain everything. Atheists don't explain anything. Science doesn't explain everything. But simulation theory, all of a sudden you go, holy shit, that explains so much. It explains why we're not, where all the aliens are. It explains why when you drill down into an electron microscope, all of a sudden the laws of physics start to change. You get small in like the ninth dimension and shit. All that is explained by simulation theory. I don't believe it, but I'm 70% there. Okay, how do we get to this topic? This is crazy when you click random comments. All right, so let's get into our topics here. Holy shit, I've been talking for 10 minutes. God damn. Yesterday, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I'm going to throw it out really fast. Yesterday was May 5th, and that was Star Wars Day. Now, I am Gen X. I grew up with Star Wars. I watched the first Star Wars. Now you have to call it A New Hope. I watched Star Wars in 1977 in the movie theater several times. Star Wars was a very big part of my life because I was the generation who fell in love with Star Wars. So I am historically a big Star Wars fan. I want to explain something to you in a way that you probably haven't heard about Star Wars. Okay, you ready for this? You guys who love Star Wars today, here's what Star Wars is. You think Star Wars is this big like franchise, like shows and all these movies and all these books and comics and George Lucas is a genius. And okay, here's what Star Wars is. You ready? Star Wars is 2 really good movies. That's it. That's what Star Wars is. Now, let me make it worse. Star Wars is 2 really good movies made 40 years ago. When you boil it all down, that's what Star Wars is. Star Wars, A New Hope is a good movie, great movie. Empire Strikes Back, great movie. That's it. Every other movie made, every other TV show made either sucks or is mildly mediocre. At best, if you're lucky. I mean, Return of the Jedi, the first half of Return of the Jedi was very good. Second half was, there was so much stupid shit in the second half of Return of the Jedi. You're like, okay. And then Phantom Menace on my blogs. If you go to alphamail20.com, you can go to my blogs where I rewrote versions of the Phantom Menace and what's the other one? Attack the Clones in a way that kind of made sense. But the prequels were mildly entertaining, but they sucked. I'm sorry they sucked. And the movies today, don't even get me started. If you saw Boba Fett, okay? And so what people do now is they deconstruct these characters. And you've heard all about this from other YouTubers who bitch and moan about how horrible pop culture is now today. It's an entire industry now on YouTube talking about how horrible Book of Boba Fett is and how horrible He-Man was. Isn't this horrible? Look at this next horrible movie that I'm going to go buy and watch it. You're part of the problem by seeing these fucking movies, bro. Anyway, they'll take these characters and deconstruct them. So we're gonna make Luke Skywalker a psycho murderer. We're gonna give Spock from Star Trek a learning disability, right? We're gonna make Boba Fett literally stupid. So when you get all excited about Star Wars, you Star Wars nerds, and I'm a nerd, and I but I used to like Star Wars. Remember, the Star Wars was 2 really good movies 40 fucking years ago. That's really all it is. I'm sorry. Well, Caleb, there's some cool video games. All right. Out of the thousands of not thousands, out of the hundreds of video games they made about Star Wars, how many were amazing? 2 or 3? There you go. Prove my point. All right. And what I'll do in this live stream is something different. Right before I switch to another topic, I will click comments, commenting on the topic I just talked about to keep the comments topical. Otherwise, if they do at the end, I'll bring up comments about Star Wars after I talk about 2 other topics. You see what I'm saying? So, am I wrong? May 4th is Star Wars? I thought it was May 5th. Are you full of shit? Are you trolling me? I don't know. Simulation theory means Elon Musk is a poet. Well, we're going to talk about Elon in a minute. We're going to talk about that. Yeah. It was downhill after Return of the Jedi. It was downhill halfway into Return of the Jedi. You could see the stupidity of George Lucas a little bit with the fucking Ewoks. You know, and how did the Ewoks destroy the Empire? And why did the Empire make another Death Star and spend that much time and effort where you shoot one thing and the whole thing blows up? And they do it a 3rd time in the fucking Force Awakens. Don't get me started. Anyway, may the 4th be with you. Oh, you're right. Son of a bitch. It is the 4th. All right, so it's May 4th, not May 5th. Sorry about that. Thanks for the correction. Thank you very much. Scott Adams got divorced just as you predicted. Correct. I did several podcasts just on him, plus articles. Ahead of schedule. Yes, he got, you're right. You're right, Samim. He got divorced as I expected. And this show, Scott Adams is a perfect example of someone who is very intelligent, reasonably rational, although he's very left-wing. I love how these right-wingers worship these left-wing guys like Joe Rogan and Scott Adams and Jim Poole. These are all left-wingers, guys. Anyway, how someone very intelligent can be very stupid in their personal life and make all kinds of rationalizations. Intelligence does not equal success in your relationship life. Matter of fact, in some cases, it's actually a detriment in some cases. So there you go. Any tips on how you retain so much information, Caleb? Brain supplements? No. Yeah, I take NZT. So that's a movie joke. No. Everything I do, I get 8.5 hours of sleep. 8 hours. I'm in bed 8.5 hours of sleep every night. Period. I drink tons of water all day long. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. Ever. I'm low carb most days, but often not most carb. But I exercise every morning. I have sex many times a week. My testosterone, estrogen, estradiol, T3, all those things are optimized. I meditate every morning. I do everything possible to optimize my mind and my body to be effective throughout the day because I got a lot of shit to do. That's how I do it. And I just turned 50, so we'll see how much longer I can pull this off. Now, let's talk about Elon Musk and Twitter really fast. I don't normally discuss topics like this, but I'm going to have to because this relates specifically to Sovereign CEO and specifically Alpha Male 2.0. This is the part where many of you are going to be very upset with me and get pissed off. And so get ready to be pissed. There's a percentage of you who are not going to like what I'm about to say, even though I'm objectively accurate. Anti-SJW types, anti-woke types. I don't call them right-wingers anymore because there's no such thing as right-winger. A right-winger is someone for small government, and those people don't really exist anymore. They're called libertarians. They're like 2 or 3 left. I'm one of them. And so I'm going to call them anti-woke people. Have a disease. And your disease is every time something happens that makes left-wingers mad, you get very excited and you jump up and down and go, look, the left-wingers are mad. Isn't this great? So the latest thing first it was, look, Trump is making these people mad. Isn't this awful? Isn't this cool? Let's rewatch that Young Turks election night video for the 14th time and jerk off about how great it is. These left-wingers are so mad. Isn't this fun, everybody? Left-wingers are liberal tears, right? And then it was the trucker protests in Canada. All these left-wingers are so mad. Oh, fuck them. They're funny, they're mad. Now it's, oh, Elon Musk is buying Twitter. All the left-wingers are mad. Look, AOC's mad. Isn't this great? She's mad. Oh, my God, these left-wingers are so mad. I'm going to come. It accomplishes nothing. You're dealing with a war you already lost. And I'm not the person who said that. Ben Shapiro, who many of you types worship, has said this himself. He said the problem with people like you is that you're focused on making left-wingers mad instead of defeating them politically. Now, you can't defeat them politically because they already took over. Left-wingers have won every decade I've been alive. I'm 50, so my entire life I have watched right-wingers get defeated and left-wingers win. And that includes Donald Trump because he was supposed to make America great again. And what happened? That happened there. The left-wingers took him out by the knees, didn't they? Didn't they? You lost a culture war about 15 years ago. You lost the colleges, you lost the media, you lost big tech, you lose and you lose and you lose and you lose. And all you have left is, well, let's make them mad. Let's all jerk off on our keyboards about how mad the left-wingers are. When you spend time jerking off about how mad left-wingers are, about a war you already lost, you are spending time away from what you should be doing. What should you be doing with your time? Instead of saying, look, the left-wingers are mad. Look at this tweet. Ah! Here's what you should be doing. You should be building your Alpha 2.0 location-dependent business. Number one, if you're following my Alpha Male 2.0 content, you should be optimizing your woman life. Number two. Number three, you should be setting up a international backup plan at a bare minimum. Even better, you should be moving out of the collapsing Western world like I did. Notice that people who jerk off so much about how left-wingers are mad about this new thing are not doing any of these things. All they're doing is sitting on their keyboards, jerking off, and getting all excited about, look at all these left-wingers mad that Elon Musk is going to buy Twitter now, and now everything's going to be great. That's the second part of this. Just like I said in 2016 at my blogs in very clear, specific language, how Donald Trump would not change a goddamn thing, and he didn't. And I did a YouTube video when he left the presidential office, and I went through everything I said in 2016 and how I was right on everything I said, and all the Trump supporters were wrong about he's going to do this and he's going to do that. He's going to build the wall. He's going to bring the manufacturing jobs back. He didn't do any of those fucking things. All he did was jack up deficit spending and debt spending more than any other president in human history before cerveza sickness ever hit, which Trump supporters didn't say a thing about because, as I said, there's no such thing as right-wingers anymore. They're all different versions of left. Trump supporters are a type of left-winger. The progressives are another type of left-winger, and the corporatists are another type of left-winger. I've talked about this before in my blogs. I don't want to get into politics. But I hope that a percentage of you who are in that camp, and I know not all of you are, and that's fine, but there's a strong percentage of my audience who are very excited, anti-woke, anti-SJW guys who get very, very excited anytime any little thing happens, and you go, whoa, isn't this great? And nothing will continue to change, and America will continue to collapse, and Canada will continue to collapse, and Western Europe will continue to collapse. Australia may continue to collapse, and your life is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse because you're not doing shit about your own life instead of focusing on what the left-wingers are saying. And let me be clear. I am a minarchist libertarian, okay? That means I hate the left more than you do. I disagree with left-wing politics and policies more by far than you do if you're the typical anti-SJW Trump type person. And notice I don't spend a lot of time going, look, the left-wingers are mad. Isn't it great? No. You know why? I'm too busy focusing on building my life, building my mission, building my 5 flags, building my companies, working on my goals, getting super excited, snapping necks and cashing checks. There's a reason my life is so awesome. And one of the primary reasons my life is so awesome is I don't spend all this fucking time getting all excited about Donald Trump or Jordan Peterson or Elon Musk buying Twitter or the trucker protests. Guys ask me about the trucker protests. Caleb, what do you think about the trucker protests? It's pretty exciting, huh, Caleb? No, I said truckers will fail. And guess what? Trudeau just said, all right, seize all their bank accounts. He just snapped his fingers. What happened? Trucker protests vanished like that. Correct. Because the left-wingers have already won. We live in a parallel universe where the bad guys already won. The bad guys already took over the world. That's already happened. You can't undo it at this point. You can't. That's why you can do things like 5 flags. You can't undo it. There was a comic book years ago. Now it's a graphic novel. Can't talk. Now it's a graphic novel. Hang on, I need water. Getting kind of worked up. It's 11 p.m. here in Dubai. This is how worked up I am at night. So much energy I have. Helps have a testosterone level in an 18-year-old man when you're 50. There was a comic book by Mark Millar several years ago called Wanted. It's a graphic novel. I recommend it if you're into comics. And I'm not super into comics. I'm partially into some comics. And they made a movie about it in about 2008 starring Angelina Jolie, which was very stupid. It had nothing to do with the comic. Here's the premise of the comic book. The premise of the comic book is that in the 80s, all the supervillains in the world teamed up. And they teamed up together, one big team, and they attacked all the superheroes all at once. And they killed all the superheroes. And they won. And all the supervillains took over the planet Earth. And what they used is using all the telekinetic or telepathic supervillains and the supervillains who could change reality and the supervillains who could do things like make people forget, things like that, and access the computers. They made the whole world forget that this ever happened. So the world thinks it's now normal. And then the comic takes place in modern day where it's our world. All these stupid, horrible wars keep going on and no one gives a shit. all these horrible politicians keep getting elected and reelected and reelected, and no one cares. All these big bankers rip people off. And the comic book was explained. The reason for that is the world's been taken over by supervillains, and you don't know that. That's the world in which we live. The bad guys won in this reality. I'm sorry they did. There's lots of reasons I could go into as to why they did. One of the biggest reasons was the right-wingers who spent time, instead of voting for small government libertarians or real small government conservatives like Pat Buchanan, they voted for guys like George W. Bush and Donald Trump and John McCain and all these horrible people. And that's one of the reasons that the bad guys won. But the bad guys have now won. There's no one doing this. So instead of getting all worked up about politics and whatever the fuck you're talking about, you want to focus in on your life and build a life. So you have, I talk about this, a bubble of order around you and your loved ones if you have them. That's location-dependent income. That's 5 flags. That's international options, low taxes, all those things that I talk about. And when you're getting all excited about, because most of you anti-SJW, anti-woke people, 3 or 4 months from now, there'll be another thing. You'll go, look, the left-wingers are mad about that. Isn't that great? And you won't do it again. You still won't do anything about it. You'll continue to sit on your ass and do nothing, which you probably shouldn't do if you live in a collapsing world, right? Probably not a smart idea. Now, if you're worth millions of dollars, you make millions of dollars, you got location-dependent income, you're paying less than 10% taxes, you're getting laid left and right, and you're physically fit, your life is perfect, then by all means, go on Twitter and jerk off all you want about how mad AOC is. That's fine. How many of you are in that category? Not very many. So you can't afford to waste this kind of time. I know it's fun. I know it's emotionally satisfying to do these kinds of things. You can't afford this. You live in a collapsing world. It's going to get worse and worse and worse every year. You've got to take action on these things. These things are distractions. Elon Musk buying Twitter is a distraction. That's what it is. This is a distraction, another distraction that is used to keep you focused, the shiny object over here, while you don't set up your location-dependent income, while you don't set up your Alpha 2.0 business, while you don't get residencies, while you don't move out of the country, or at a bare minimum, set up an international backup plan. Cool? Cool. I just realized I've left a comment up on the screen. I probably shouldn't do that. Hang on a second. There we go. All right. Let's look at some comments on that topic. I'm sure they're going to be lively. And then I'm going to bring in Henry. So hang on a second. Some random questions about random stuff. Let's see. I talk like a race car? Yeah, pretty much. I talk fast, huh? Is the concept of free speech even a real thing? I've written articles about this. Everyone hates free speech. Conservatives hate free speech. Left-wingers hate free speech. The only people who want free speech are people like me, either minarchist libertarians or anarchists. I am a free speech absolutist. You should be allowed to say literally whatever at the governmental level, the government, you should be allowed to say literally whatever you want with no interruption from the government. Yes, people can sue you. Yes, the government can investigate you if they don't like what you're saying. But you must be allowed to say literally anything. Petty from the other side are part of the problem and keep us from seeing the bigger picture. That is correct. That's right. Decision-making podcast. Sure, I consider it. Sure. Other people are mad. I'm going to come. No, I said left-wingers are mad. I'm going to come. They had to have Ewoks to sell the dumb toys. Yes, now he didn't make a bad business decision. I'm talking about how good of a movie it was, right? Don't be left-wing. Don't be right-wing. Be selfish. Agree. Is Pink Firefly listening to this while she eats? Yes. She's shut the door. She's watching TV now. Pink Firefly listens to me a lot, whether she wants to or not. I have a very loud voice. So when I was in high school, even when I was a kid, I would sit in the back of the room, but I would talk to people, and I have a very loud projecting voice, and I get in trouble all the fucking time. So they said, Caleb, you should be an actor. You should be an actor because you're a natural actor. And I said, actors don't make any money, so go fuck yourself. No, I'm going to go be a professional speaker. How about that? Where are all the expats that choose Ukraine are going to move to? Wait till Henry comes on because he faced that problem. We'll talk about that. Good question. I've given up this country. I'm preparing to leave. I'm going to scout some countries soon around Southeast Asia. I know 2 people who just moved to Singapore. 2 people. Yep. Snapping necks and cashing checks. That's right, baby. You want to say the collapsing Western world in your state in the USA? I can help you get elected so you can't make a difference. TRT. Yes, I've been on TRT for 10 years now. Yes. The left is losing their collective minds. Oh, that's the next thing. Thank you for bringing that up, Mark. I forgot all about that. I just saw that when I was working out this morning on the little monitor. Oh, no, Roe v. Wade. And all the right wingers are like, yeah, they're mad about Roe v. Wade. Isn't this great? This is great. I'm going to come again. Stupid. Plus, I don't know if I don't believe it. I'm not going to repeal Roe v. Wade. I would be shocked. America's a left-wing country. So, yeah, who gives a shit? You know, what I saw this morning is Roe v. Wade and you guys in the United States, because that's not me anymore. Record storms. Storms are like, there's like hundreds of storms all over the United States destroying all this property. I'm like, not my problem anymore. Yeah. Woman accidentally came inside the last month and I did not get pregnant. Okay, be more careful with your condoms, bro. Shit. Do you organize all your bank account balances one spreadsheet and don't one account per seat? I got to think about that for a minute. It's not that simple. It's multiple sheets. All right, let's do a few more comments and we'll move on to the next topic here. At what point should American expat consider renouncing your citizenship? It depends how much money you make and how much money you're planning on making. You're planning to make a lot of money as soon as you can. Do I ever see myself doing that? Yes, that is the plan. I'm getting 2 more passports. And as soon as I have that second passport in my hand for a total of 3, so my American plus my 2 backups, I am immediately renouncing my American citizenship. I cannot wait. It cannot happen fast enough. But I make a high income. If you make, $85,000 a year, if you make under the FEIE, minimum of $108,000 a year, it doesn't really matter. So it really depends. All right. How often do you stop asking me questions about let's do the Q&A at the end about my spreadsheets. Caleb is so funny. I'm funnier than Robin Williams. Is vasectomy the best option if you don't want kids? Yes. Yes, technically, sure. Yeah. Caleb likes to rub it in. He doesn't live in the U.S. anymore. Are you fucking kidding? I'm going to rub it in the rest of my life. Fuck yes. How to avoid the political circle jerk. Turn off the news. Yes. Cut back on the fucking news. The only news I look at now is a brief summary in the morning. That's it. And I move on with my day. I don't want to dick with this stuff. I am on a mission. I can't be distracted with this bullshit. Especially in a collapsing country where the left has already won and the right is never going to come back. So now you're really stupid. Jesus Christ. All right. Let me bring in Henry. Henry, I can see you down there. Wave if you're ready to join. All right, you're cool. All right, let me bring in Henry here. We're going to talk about a few things. Talk about some sovereign CEO stuff. Never done this before.
Hey guys, how you doing? How's it going? You guys can hear me? Audio's good?
I think the audio's good. Yeah, could someone post and make sure that you can hear his voice?
The audio good?
I mean, if I can hear you, they can hear you. I think we're okay.
Awesome. We should
You're
be
looking
good.
You're looking very casual tonight.
Oh, yeah. I work from home.
So wait, where are you? Are you in Europe? Where are you now? I don't even know.
I did a lot of traveling. Location independent, obviously. I was in Colombia, and then I went to Ukraine, so that Ukraine question was good.
So wait, back up. Let's go through the timeline because this is what I want to talk about really quick before we get into that stuff. So,
yeah,
how long were you in? You were on the East Coast, and then you went to Colombia, right? Were you in Florida?
Yeah, so I was in Philadelphia. I'm from Philadelphia. I have a Russian Jewish background, so I speak Russian, but I'm American. I'm American originally. But yeah, so I started trading options and having location dependent income. I was like, why am I paying taxes in the U.S., right? Obviously it's not for CEO here as well. So what's the point of paying taxes? If you want to live a more free life, you need more options. You should explore the world a little bit, especially if you're younger. Even if you're older, you should still experience the world a little bit more. Being stuck in your city makes
tell them how old you are. We'll talk about how much money you make in a second, but tell them how old you are.
I feel a lot older because I've income wise and experience wise, I'm 27, but I low testosterone. I'm trying to fix that as well, but I feel 47 sometimes.
Yeah. And I started talking to you when you were 25. When did you and I start talking? You were 25?
About 25. Yeah. And I was making $72K a year. And I'm very transparent with my income. I'm very transparent.
No, in a second, we'll talk about how much money you're making now. Yeah. We'll get that in a second. I'm leading up to it. Okay. So, so you were in Philly, and then I remember when you first moved to Colombia, that was a while. How long were you in? Were you Colombia back and forth? Did you stay there for a while?
6 months in Colombia. I went for 6
Okay, I
months.
thought you were longer. All right.
They sort of kick you out after 6 months. You can do stuff to stay in, but you do need to get a visa by investing in a property or proving that you have a certain amount of income. But I met other digital nomads / sovereign CEOs, A2.0 community members. And because I speak Russian, it's like a cheat code. I had to go to Ukraine.
Dude,
Absolutely.
yeah,
For
Eastern
me,
Europe, bro.
it's like being an NFL player for me. So, yeah, I noticed a lot of guys in your community love either South America or Eastern Europe. For me, it's Eastern Europe.
Yes.
So I had to leave Colombia for that reason. But it's a fantastic place. Totally recommend it.
And then you went to Ukraine. Where'd you go after that?
Yeah.
And do you have family in Ukraine? You have family there too, or no? No.
I only have mom and dad in the U.S.
And were you Kiev? Where were you? Kiev?
Yeah, in Kiev. Yeah, but there's other awesome places. Kharkiv is good and stuff like that.
How long were you in Kiev?
They kick you out after 90 days. So I was there for 90 days, and then I went to Tbilisi.
All right. You can always go back, but Tbilisi. Okay, how long are you in Tbilisi? Yeah. So Tbilisi, you don't know, guys, is Georgia. So
Georgia, the country of Georgia. It's fantastic, super cheap. If you want to set up your plan B as a sovereign CEO, I think it's 1% tax. It's very low. Very low.
1% tax on, is that a corporate tax?
I think so. I don't. My tax situation
isn't great yet. I thought it was 4. Maybe they changed.
I think it's 1. I think it's 1.
Okay. All right.
One of your mentors also teaches this type of stuff. I think he said it's 1. I don't know. I don't look into this plan B stuff just yet because I'm not sure where I'm going to settle. I'm going to Dubai in a week. So.
Oh, you're coming here. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know that. Is this new?
Well, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to take a look at Dubai. It looks amazing.
Unfortunately, this is not the time you want to visit Dubai, but you could. This is the worst, not the worst time. The worst is next month. It's starting to get hot and shitty here. But anyway, it's still cool. Still fun. Yeah. All right. And then, so I'm sorry, where are you now?
In Tbilisi, Georgia. Back in Tbilisi.
Oh, you're back in Georgia.
Has a very easy program, 1 year. Very easy. Super easy. Super cheap.
For the 1 year visa?
Yeah, it's a 1 year visa, no problem. Anyone can come here.
Yeah.
Sort of have the opposite problem here, though, because once you start setting up your location-dependent business, start doing well, you want to go somewhere a little bit upper for luxuries. I don't even know how I can spend enough money here. Things are so cheap, and I make so much. It's like I can't even find things to spend on. It's too boring.
So those of you watching, this is what we call quality problems. When you get your income high enough, you start experiencing this. I started experiencing this myself, especially at a place like Paraguay. I can't spend and I don't spend a lot of money. I have a wife that spends some money, but she has her own money. But so yes, so one of the reasons I'm in Dubai is I don't feel that way anymore. Now I'm like small fish in a big pond. Anyway, so yeah, when you come to Dubai, it's a whole world of difference from fucking Tbilisi. I mean, you'll be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You'll feel like a nerd if you don't have a Ferrari here.
Yeah.
You're like a loser if you don't have a Ferrari. You're like, you have a Ferrari? Well, that's weird. Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's a whole well, you'll see when you come here.
Yeah, I'm looking to spend on things, but I go to a restaurant, the maximum bill is $50. Best restaurant in Tbilisi, $50. It's I want to spend $200. Where can I do that? I can't find a place. So
in Dubai, when Pink Firefly and I were here late last year, I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I took her to dinner at the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world. Okay, at the top of the tower, and dinner and drinks, numerous drinks for her. I don't drink, and dessert and all that crap. And the bill came, and it was in dirhams, so I had to do some math on the USD equivalent. It was $325 for a dinner with drinks.
Not too bad still.
That's a lot of money. Not horrible, but enough to go, ooh. And I grew up poor, so I'm like, that seems like a lot. I drove out when I was driving, God, I spent $325 on dinner. Holy, I never thought they'd do that. So yes, that's not typical. You could eat cheap in Dubai too, but that's
absolutely.
So you have when you trade options, that is 100%. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is 100% location dependent. You can be anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where you are, right?
Yeah, I literally think it's the best A2.0 business. One of them. Obviously, you do need some money to trade with, but once you have that starting capital, I think it's the best because you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have a boss. I hated having a boss in corporate, so I just I trade
And you work for Goldman too, right? Did you work for Goldman?
I work for Goldman Sachs in Los Angeles in the private wealth management department. So I've seen all the celebrity portfolios, and they have very low returns. Very low. They have
they suck. They're horrific. Celebrities and rock stars, athletes.
I make their returns on a monthly. Their yearly returns are my monthly returns,
Yeah.
and I've seen
Yeah.
like they make like 3 to 5% a year. That's my monthly, and that's their yearly. But
Although to be fair, you're active and they're more passive. To be fair, we got to compare apples to apples, right?
yeah, relatively speaking, I trade like 3 to 5 hours a week max. They probably spend 30 minutes calling the financial advisor and hey, how's my money doing? Oh, we're down. Why are we down?
Right. So let's cover that really quick, and then I'm gonna rewind a little bit. So you right now, to maintain your current income, you are working, and be honest, how many hours a week are you trading?
Trading 3 hours, and I would do it less. The only reason it's 3 hours is because I open up my portfolio when I do live coaching.
Okay.
And if I didn't have to do coaching, it would be 1 hour. Because
this is exclusive of coaching, because I consider that a separate income stream for you. So just your trading, the income related to trading specifically, is 3 hours a week.
3 hours a week. 3 hours a week.
Okay. And if you're comfortable telling the audience, how much money have you made trading in the last 12 months? If you're comfortable.
Yeah, I'm the most transparent person. I share everything, my trading account. I actually revealed my tax return from Robinhood.
You did?
2021. I have my tax return on YouTube. Cool. Everything.
Cool.
Yeah, I can even share my coaching income too, which is also significant. But $591,000 something dollars. $591.
That's pre-tax. Pre-tax.
The drawdown with options is they're taxable. You have to pay tax.
Right.
Everyone asks me, can I pay less tax? I'm sorry, I can help you make more money, but I can't help you pay less tax.
I can help you with that.
That's someone else. Go someone else for that part.
Yeah.
Because I'm not licensed to tax.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Right.
I can't give the
tax. 3 hours a week, guys. $600K a year. Okay, not too bad. How many guys would kill for that shit? And then
it wasn't always that high. Even, I think even a beginner can reasonably take an account from like 7K to 17K. That's what I think is achievable. That's what I also teach. So I'm taking my current account from 7K to 17K, and about 8 months in, we're 50% up. So we're up about 3.5K there.
How much money did you? Well, one of the questions I've gotten about your stuff, and I don't know a good answer. I know what you've recommended, and we sent out some emails. But how much? If a guy wants to get started, well, here's two questions. If a guy wants to get started, how much capital does he need realistically? And then how much capital did you get started with?
I got started with about $2,000, and
$2,000.
Yeah, $2,000. It was a slow process. The unfortunate truth is it is easier to grow bigger money than smaller money. It's just the fact. If you have $1 million, it's easier to grow, obviously.
Of course.
But not everyone needs to start with a lot. And also, the most important thing is to get started and start learning, because compounding takes time, right? You don't start compounding day one. So don't start, you have to start to begin compounding no matter where. The
more the better. But if a guy has 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, that is workable or no? And again, be honest.
Fantastic. 6,000 is fantastic. 3,000 is great. 3,000 is a good bare minimum.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
So for you guys who don't know, I think the deadline is in a few hours, I think. So midnight EST, I'm mixed up with my time zones. That's in a few hours.
Yeah.
So on this video, you can click the link. You can schedule a call with his guys, and he can go through. Well, you explain it. I don't want to butcher it.
Sure. Well, essentially, it's just the community of investors who want to make, passive income, or just grow their portfolio, or just kind of have location dependent income. And basically, through your link, they can click and just schedule a time with myself or someone on the team. I take 20% of calls. It's a free call to learn more. Obviously, I hope people.
Well, you are taking some of the calls?
I do take some of the calls.
That's
Sometimes
cool. I didn't know that. I wasn't sure what to say about that. All right, cool. Good. Great.
Don't expect that. It's typically going to be someone on my team, because I'm first and foremost a trader, and then second a coach. So I don't typically get on calls.
Right.
But sometimes I will. That's because I like getting really personal with everyone. I want to make sure, just like I'm transparent, I'm also pretty personal. I want to make sure people hit their goals. It's very important to me. I don't necessarily do it for the money, although the money is great. I'm just super passionate about this. I don't know what else to do. Like, I could retire.
I can vouch for that. I can speak to that. Henry is super into this shit. Henry would do this shit for free. He really.
I don't need the money. Like, the truth, I don't need it. Like,
I know that about you. I know that about you. Yeah. completely.
Yeah, so I just love doing this. I feel purpose and passion about it. And I don't know what my mission is. You teach that. I don't know what mine is, but this certainly has to be part of my mission where I teach.
If you're under 30, you're exempt. You don't need a mission if you're under 30.
Yeah.
I added that rule about 2 years ago because I realized it's too hard. I didn't
Right.
know my mission when I was your age. I didn't know. That's
Right.
hard. It's hard for 30s. Yeah. Yeah. So you're talking about teaching guys to set them up in terms of how to trade options using some capital, like 2,000 or 3,000 or whatever, as a location independent income source. Yes.
Yeah, and it depends because I've been doing this for a long time. We have different programs. We have stuff that's really beginner friendly. Most of it's really beginner friendly, but we have some really beginner friendly cheap stuff for guys with really small portfolios. But obviously, the main stuff is a little bit more of an investment. But obviously, you get a lot for it. You invest in your education, you get an ROI. And obviously, investing in your financial education is the number one thing you can do. Because it doesn't matter how much money you make if you don't know how to save and invest you're going to lose to inflation. You're losing 9% a year, 12% a year. You can't invest. Even if you have no money, just learning how to invest will eventually set you free. But if you don't know how to invest, I mean, you're screwed.
Correct.
Inflation.
There's a link below this video. The deadline is Eastern time tonight, midnight. And that's when the deadline for you to schedule the call. And if you decide to work with Henry, if it's for you, and if it's not, it's fine. But if it is, I'm throwing in 2 mini courses, which is, let me think, Build Your Team, which is the second most popular mini course we ever had in terms of the live webinar we did, and How to Reduce Your Tax. How to Reduce Your Taxes? No, Time Management for the Alpha 2.0. I throw those in for free if you want. A few more hours. Now, another way in which Henry is an example of what I talk about is he has multiple income streams. So you heard him say that he does the training, but he also has a coaching business. So whenever you get good at something, your next business, the easiest next business to do is to, and Henry, you can speak on this if you want, is to teach people how to do what you did. And sometimes, I don't know if this will happen to you or not, Henry, but I was just talking to a guy today where this already happened. Sometimes the second business, you'll make more money doing that. Even if you make like 6 figures over here, you'll make more money teaching people than you're actually doing it. I've seen that happen over, not always, but I've seen it happen over and over and over again. Yeah, so I'm glad you're doing that too. You're actually using the Alpha 2.0 business model of multiple businesses and multiple niches doing different things.
Yeah, I could definitely speak about that. I'll be honest, I've previously really hated people who just teach and make like 100% of their income teaching and not doing. Correct. I think some of the best coaches are ones, and I think when coaches get good, that income stream is their primary. Even last year, though, I haven't shared this publicly. I think maybe on Instagram I said it once. I made $1 million. 591,000 came from option trading, and about 400 came from coaching. So my coaching income is obviously significant, but still, option trading came in number one, and I'm proud to say that. I don't know if that's always going to be true, but I'm proud of it. But yes, absolutely, coaching is.
You might be able to scale the coaching business faster than the trading, so you're probably going to make more money in coaching.
Yeah. It depends too, because the returns are market dependent. For example, in 2021, I did pretty well. The year before that, I also did well. I had a 36% return. So last year I had about 60% return. 2020, I had 36%. So it is market dependent.
Now, that's a question. I had a guy ask that. What if I do this with Henry and I start kicking ass in this stuff and there's a big stock market crash?
Yeah, so options are safer than stocks, and you can't predict the market. You can't predict any business or life for that matter. There's no guarantees. You talk about a 2% rule. Absolutely, there can be a crash. However, with option trading, if you use proper strategies like hedging, covered calls, and hedge your portfolio, you will also lose money. But for example, this year, the market is down, I think like 10 or so percent. I'm flat. I haven't lost any money. So I'm outperforming the market. I haven't made much money this year, but I've completely outperformed the market. So it's like in your neighborhood, or if the economy, if everything crashes by 50%, but you crash 10%, you're actually winning by 40% if you look at it. Like if everyone, you know what I mean? So it will depend. If there's a market crash, you can lose money, of course. But in the long term, and I like to explain it this way, I focus on selling options. A lot of people will start off with options, buying them. When they're buying them, they're risking and they're kind of gambling. When you're selling options, you're kind of being the casino. You can consistently collect income like an insurance company. And insurance always makes money because they collect $1 million and they know they're going to pay out like $600K.
Well, I classify what you're doing not as investing, but as a business.
insurance
Do
company.
you agree with that? Do you agree with that assessment? Yeah. It's more of a business because you're more of a trader than an investor.
Right.
Certainly, you can invest as well.
Right.
Just like a crypto trader versus crypto investor. Those are two different. I'm not a crypto trader. I'm a crypto investor. But I work with guys who are crypto traders. That's a business.
Yeah, you can definitely say that.
That's how it's not as market dependent in my view, because you're buying and selling. You're not buying and holding.
It is the most consistent way to make money through your own money. It's the best way to use your money to make more money, aside from real estate. But real estate, you need to go to the bank. It's location dependent. You need a whole lot more capital. You need to find good tenants. You need to flip it. Like, come on. Option trading makes more with less work than real estate. Real estate is number one. I like real estate
too, but everything you're saying is accurate. Yes.
Real estate is great, but it's a lot more work, and you need a lot more capital.
Real estate isn't passive. Right. For people who think unless you're at the very high level and you have companies run your stuff, and it can be passive. But then
your return will be low because you're paying a management fee.
Well, lower, correct. Well,
lower, yeah.
Correct, but that's how you got to make sure it's cash flows. Real estate's pretty complicated. It's not just the investment, but it's also the cash flow aspect of it. But yes, I agree with everything you're saying. Yeah.
The only benefit real estate could have is that you can depreciate it. So over 27 and a half years, I think you can depreciate and it's a good, that's it. That's the only real benefit.
You guys, if you guys don't know, your YouTube channel is called Invest with Henry. Yes.
Yeah.
So how many YouTube followers do you have as compared to mine? This is where I get embarrassed. Hilarious. You and I started on YouTube around the same time. Or somewhat.
I think I started after you.
And you might have even started after me. And you threw your heart into this, and this is kind of a part-time thing for me. But how many followers do you have now? YouTube.
I think it's 185,000. I think
185,000.
Yeah.
So that's another example. You make money from that, right?
I do. I think it does like $10K a month.
All right. So so that's a third income stream for Henry.
It's
he's
like
on YouTube. He's getting YouTube income. It's small to him, but to most guys watching, $10,000, they'd kill for $10,000.
I wouldn't even imagine this 2 years ago. The 10K. I wouldn't even imagine. I wouldn't even dream of it. So
you deserve that because you do everything. You do what I don't do. You do everything right on your YouTube videos. You script them. You have the graphics in a certain place. You maintain the algorithm in a very specific way. You do everything correct. You've done a lot of research on it. You've done everything in YouTube that I haven't done. So you deserve that $10,000 because you worked hard at that. I know you have.
Thank you.
Yeah. How about questions for Henry before I let him go? Let me pull up some comments.
And real quick, I'm happy to answer anything around sovereign CEO travel or just
any questions for Henry as an example of everything. He's the perfect example of all the business stuff I talk about. Right. Do you see that? Do you see that on your screen? Do you see that comment on your screen?
Yeah.
My
perception is that it takes 6 months to a few years to become consistently profitable with trading, but many people have lucky moments early on that give them a false sense of how easy it is. That's certainly true. A lot of investors have come in through Robinhood, and they don't have success because they're typically buying options, or they're just buying things and hoping. They're crossing their fingers. Oh, I hope this goes up. They don't have a process. They don't have a system. And if you want to be successful, just like a business, you need to treat it like a business. You need to have an entry plan, an exit plan. You need to know how to do your research, look at the technicals. You need to have the right framework and system in place so you can make consistent money. Because a lot of people come in and, that's first 6 months, they just kind of burn out. They go the long way. And I did that myself. I lost money my first 3 years because I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have someone teaching me. I had to do it the hard way. It cost me time and money, which obviously the most valuable thing we have is time and then money.
And again, I'm going to reiterate what we're talking about here is not investing. It's a business. You have a lot more control over business than you do investing. That's why I'm a more businessman than I am an investor. But I consider myself a businessman because I have a lot more control of what my companies do than what my investments do. That's just the way this works. Right.
Man, Henry's option course is amazing. Extra source of income that helps.
You know this guy?
Yeah, I do know him.
We'll send you $5. I'm just kidding.
that guy's awesome. Yeah, he's done really well. Can I do options to short the dollar and go long the ruble? So from my understanding, you cannot, because dollars and rubles are Forex, foreign exchange currencies, and I don't know, maybe foreign exchange does have options. I work with typically blue chip stocks or just the stock market. So think about your Coca-Colas, Tesla, Amazon, Apple, typical US listed companies. I don't work with foreign exchange. I'm very focused. That's why I do so well. Very focused on just US listed stocks. Some Chinese stocks like NEO and Alibaba are US listed. They have ADRs. Is trading options future proof? It's not going anywhere. Definitely. It's been around since 1920. Options have been around and they're not going anywhere. And what I teach doesn't change. It's not like a technology. Once you have the information, you'll make money for the rest of your life.
Have you guys seen the movie Trading Places? Like from the early 80s, that was options. With the Eddie Murphy movie. You're too young, but old fuckers like me, you remember that movie? That was all trading options. That was 1982. So yeah. Right.
But yeah, options is super future proof because the concepts don't change. The same strategies are likely to continue working for a long time. For example, I'm going to give you guys some value here. One strategy that I use is selling put options. It's very similar to insurance. And selling put options usually is going to continue to work, and it's been working for a long time, is because mutual funds and pension funds, they manage billions of dollars. They're required to hedge their portfolios by buying options. And when they buy them, they make them very expensive. And they have to do that because it's in their code. They have to protect themselves. And you're there selling that expensive insurance to them. And it never goes away. So it's future proof. It's not going anywhere. And I think the last question was, how does it tie into a mission? As Sovereign CEO teaches, you need multiple streams of income. So whatever your mission is, it can be anything. You're going to need income to fuel your mission and passion, no matter what. So lower investment in terms of time. This is one of the best things that you can do. There's many different programs, right? It depends, and it's really customized to your needs. So some people are going to have, a different program than others. So I can't mention the cost of it because it does depend, but it certainly can be a decent investment for some of the bigger portfolios, or a cheaper investment for someone that just wants to get started and kind of begin learning.
You have at least 4 levels, right? At least 4, right? 3, 4?
I have a lot of levels. I have a one-on-one coaching for $100,000, and I have a student there who is IT professional in New York, and he paid me $100,000 to work with me one-on-one. Now that's not going to be
so pay Henry $100,000, everybody.
That's certainly the most expensive option. We have options that are way, way cheaper. I'm not even sure because I don't always hop on them, but I think we have one for like $1,000 or something like that. It's really affordable because it teaches you how to make money for the rest of your life. So the ROI is like 100 times, but it depends. What percentage of Henry's personal income is from actual trading? 59%.
So we covered that. We covered that, dude. We covered that. So, right now 59%. it's 60%, right?
Oh, about 59%. 59%. Because I made, funny enough, I made like exactly $1 million in like 2000 something. Is actual work involved with options just being able to analyze the data and act on it? Usually takes 5 to 10 minutes if you use a few different technical indicators like moving averages, MACD, RSI. I don't want to get too complicated or too technical here, but it's very fast. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to analyze an option. Advice on AG options. I don't know what AG options are. That's a specific stock. I can't help you there.
Agriculture.
Oh, yeah. So I'm a tech analyst. I'm focused on high growth companies, kind of like a Kathy Wood. If you guys know, Kathy Wood has been very popular in their social media, like a Warren Buffett. I'm focused on tech, consumer, so Starbucks, big brands, Nike. I have an expertise there, so I outperform the market. And by the way, the service is basically, not only do I teach you how to fish for yourself, but I also give you all the plays that I'm making. So you get to follow along what I'm doing, buying and selling. And a lot of people just join because they just want to copy paste. They don't want to do any work. To Henry, if you weren't getting taxed, would you still be in the U.S.? I actually left the U.S. for a few different reasons. I just wanted to see more of the world. I'm still uncertain where I'm going to be in the future, but Dubai certainly seems like a great option. To me, getting on a call is off-putting. I would be more likely to consider the course from a sales page. Shoot us an email. We can figure something out. We can figure something out there. The reason why we want to get on calls is because we want to get to know people and give you guys a customized approach. But if you really need it, then you can shoot an email maybe to Caleb, and Caleb can forward it to me.
And I can tell you from my standpoint, calls are better when you have a lot of options to coin a phrase. When you have, if it's just one thing at one price, you don't necessarily need it. It's not as important. I mean, it can be, but when your options are more complicated, a call does help. And I don't say that as a sales thing. I really believe that, because I've done things where just last week, 2 weeks ago, I did a call where someone tried to sell me on something and I bought it because it's something I wanted, but it was complicated and there were various options and I prefer to be on that call because I had questions. But anyway, teach their own. No big deal. Let's do one more question here. Let's see. Here we go.
For someone new to option trading, how much time should I expect to commit to learn and geek out? You wrote grok this. I'm guessing like learn this.
Rock this.
Grok this. The course is 8 modules, 8 hours, which you can probably do in 2 weeks. So within 2 weeks, you can have a good understanding. You can start making money your first 30 days, realistically. But you obviously have to commit. You obviously need to put some effort in your first 30 days. You need to be serious. We don't want people just to book calls if you're not serious. So we do want serious people that are ready to take action in your future. It's important. So, yeah.
Do you guys have any questions for Henry in terms of sovereign CEO or living abroad or his experiences traveling and that stuff? If not, we'll wrap it up. But if you guys do, well, here's one more on the stock stuff. Go ahead.
Why options over Forex stocks? So Forex is the most competitive game with all the big banks playing. So I think you're at a huge disadvantage. And I wasn't taught in college. I have a finance degree and I worked at Goldman Sachs and 2 hedge funds. I was not personally taught Forex. It could be a gold mine. I don't know. I don't think it is. And there's lots of scams through Forex. Stocks are fantastic. I have stocks. The problem with stocks is they're not income. So if you hold a stock, sure, they have 3% dividends, but that's it. Option trading, you can make 3% a month. And that is income coming in, which you can fund your lifestyle. Stocks, you can't do that. You need a large amount of money. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to live a sovereign CEO life if you own stocks, because that dividend is very small. And options, because I love playing poker, and I heard options is similar to poker. And poker is a strategic mathematical game. I worked on Wall Street, and they taught me poker and options, and I fell in love. Never looked back. 3 nations, best women. For me, Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe all the way for me, but everyone's going to be different there.
Yeah, it's a hard question to answer. Everyone has different types of women and choices of women. And
I'll tell you Slavic all day, but I think Caleb would probably prefer South American, so maybe Colombian and.
Physically, I like Slavic better.
Okay.
Mostly, I like the South Americans better, so that's kind of how South Americans with the South American vibe with the big ass. That's my favorite. That's kind of
right. Favorite countries you visited so far. So I'm a little bit biased. For me, it was Ukraine, and that's because I have a cheat code of speaking the language. So for me, it was like being a celebrity. But I think Southeast Asia, if you're a white Western man or any Western man, you're going to have success. So, you
are very lucky that you can speak Russian. You're right. For you guys who give a shit, you speak Russian and you're in Eastern Europe. Holy crap. Over. Very similar, although it's even better than this, but it's similar to if you speak fluent Spanish and you go to South America. Oh my God, it's so much easier. Now you can still do fine in Eastern Europe and South America without speaking language. I have, but it's so much easier. Yeah, it's no question.
And you were right, by the way, about being more provider hungry in those areas. The women are
that's the other challenge with the Eastern European women. It's physically they're amazing, but it's the non-physical stuff that's a challenge. They're more providery and they want more dates and yeah.
But I will also say it's amazing because they love romance. You can give her flowers and say I love you. And
that's true.
It's good.
They're more traditional in a way.
Yeah, and you can't do that in the U.S. You give flowers on a date, you're weirdo.
No, you're a pussy, right.
Yeah. Right. What's the cheapest option? Not sure what you mean, cheapest option in terms of buying.
Probably your option. He answered that, like $1,000.
Yeah, it's around there. And again, it depends because there's different levels of access. You can get access for a certain time period. It depends. Any thoughts on covered call ETF for income? That's one of the strategies I teach. I love covered calls on ETFs like SPY. There's a bunch of them. We can go on. I don't want to spend all of Caleb's time, but there's a lot of them, and I love that strategy. Definitely. How much can a beginner realistically make their first year with a 10, 50, and 100K investment? Well,
dude,
I'm doing about 50%. 50% on 10K is 5K. 50% on 50K is 25K.
50% annually?
Yeah. Well, I did 59% last year, something like that. But my current spreadsheet is 48% for 9 months. So I'm just going to lower it down and say 50%, but it can be higher than that. But I'm just going to say about 50%. So on a 10K account, that's 5K. But the thing is, I also don't want people to think short term. Obviously, it's important to get an ROI on your money fast. But if you think about it, you're going to make most of your money in your second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year. It only compounds.
Like any other business. Correct.
Yeah, in the business. Yeah. Like don't think, oh, how do I make this money in a week? Think about, where am I going to be in 5 years? In 5 years, I'm going to be traveling the world, location independent, sovereign CEO, very happy. Think about yourself in 5 years, and that's how you start.
And let me double down on what he just said, and I've said this before, you guys. Let's say you say 5 years as a 5-year time, and maybe it won't be 5 years before you make decent money that you really like. It'll be a lot less. But let's say you're a moron. It takes you 5 years. All right. Oh, my God, 5 years. Take your current age, add 5, and now you're set for life for the rest of your life. Is that a good ROI? Yeah. Even if you're 70, it's a good ROI. And most of you guys are young dudes. So fuck. 10 years would be a good idea. Absolutely. Everyone wants this is the millennial Gen Z thing. Everyone wants it right now, right now, right now. It might take, it's going to take a few years, but it's a few years, and then you're done. Then you're done. Very similar to woman stuff, too. A few years of practice, and you're done. You're set for life. It's the same thing. Yeah, right.
People also get a financial Excel sheet. So basically, when they join, I wanted to be a financial advisor. I don't like financial advisors' business models. They suck blood from you forever. So I do a lot of financial planning, and I show people how they can start with 5,000 and make it into 6 figures within a reasonable amount of time. Includes adding some money, but anyone can grow an account. Anyone, literally. You can start with 2,000 and still grow. Are there any hobbies or interests?
That's a good question there. Sorry.
Yeah. Are there any hobbies or interests that affect your decisions on where to live? Absolutely. I think that's really important. I haven't been the best at that. I'm still learning. At 27, I'm still making some mistakes. I like playing tennis. I would like to live somewhere where there's tennis, and currently there's no tennis in Tbilisi, so we'll see. Where do you prefer to store cash? I personally am very cash poor. If you look at my bank account, you'll think that I'm broke, but I don't have high expenses. I shovel everything into investments. I'm a little bit crazy. I have 1.6 million invested, and I take an $800,000 loan on margin. And people will think I'm crazy. The reason why is because if you had a pizza shop and the line was out the door, right, and you have one oven, and the line is 100 people, you'd be crazy not to take a loan to open up a second oven. So for me, I've been doing this for so long, I know exactly what I'm doing. I can take margin and do it safely. I do not recommend margin for beginners, but I teach that, but you need some experience in the group first. But I will show you how to leverage your money and take out good debt. I think you talked about that in a recent video. Good debt.
Correct.
I know Caleb has his own server for his website. Do you use multiple platforms instead, or rely on one? Or would you say Robinhood is the best security one? I'm not good with broker questions. I can't answer like what's the best. I use Robinhood and I use TD Ameritrade. They're all fine, and they're SPIC insured up to 250K. But I'm not a broker expert. Henry,
thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything you want to say before I let you go? I'm going to say this one more time. Link below if you want. If you want to take a look at this and examine this, like with all phone calls, if you don't want to do it, fine. Well, again, like Henry said, if you're not serious, then don't call. Don't schedule a call, right? I mean, do you agree, Henry? If you're not serious, don't schedule a call. But if you're serious about this.
If you can't invest in your education, we can't help you. We want people that can invest in themselves. Yeah. So, yeah.
I endorse this stuff because this is location independent and it doesn't require a lot of money. There you go.
I've been a sovereign CEO for a long time, and I've had a lot of success, and everything that's been preached here, I 100% agree with it. I have a lot of respect for Caleb. And yeah, I want all of you guys to be successful, and following this man will get you successful. And I'm here, as a part of your journey. Hopefully I can help you achieve even more. That's my goal.
You can get more information by going to his YouTube channel where he shows all his stuff. He's very, like you said, he's very transparent. That's another reason. Yeah.
Very, very transparent. I have to be. I don't mind, but
you kind of have to be. To teach this kind of thing, you're right. You have to be a lot more transparent than I need to be, for example. But
you can't see how much money I'm making, then how do you know to trust me? Maybe I'm just BSing, so I need to show my results.
Cool, dude. Thank you very much. I'll let you go, but thank you very much for this. This has been great.
Yep.
It's been awesome.
All right. Thanks. See you guys.
Thanks. Okay. Last thing I'm going to talk about is, do we have time to talk about this? I guess we do. I'm just going to overview, because I've gotten some questions about this, what I had to do to move to Dubai when I was with an OLTR. So as you guys know, I am married. And so if you just move out of the country by yourself, that's easy. It's really easy. It's really easy. But when you're like me and you're an old man and you have a live-in girlfriend or a wife, or OLTR wife in my case, there are logistics involved. So I'll just give you a brief overview of what Pink Firefly and I had to do. First thing is, Pink Firefly, as I just showed you at the beginning of this video, has a goddamn dog. So moving a dog from the United States to Dubai is probably the most complicated process I have seen yet in my Five Flags journey. The amount of vet visits that she had to make and documents she had to sign and things she had to get certified in different cities and FedEx documents, and then more vet visits. And then we had to bring the dog. We had to drive the dog all the way to Seattle from Portland. And the dog had to go on a separate plane. And you had a very specific, like, FAA approved kennel, which is actually probably, where is it? It's in this room somewhere. Where the fuck is her kennel? I don't know. Anyway, so she had to do that. There was a cost involved in all that crap. When we flew to Dubai, the dog was flying on a different plane. So she had to stress about her baby, because when you get into a serious relationship with a hot blonde girl who has no kids, they have a little dog. It's just how it works. So there you go. So we had that. That was the first set of logistics. Second set of logistics was, when you have an apartment, there was a bunch of stuff we had to figure out what to do with. So you can't fly furniture when you leave the country. It's too big. Yes, you could buy a shipping or you rent a shipping container, but that's a minimum of $6,000 up. It's going to cost a lot of money, and you could load up stuff on a shipping container, and then it takes a month. And because of cerveza sickness, supply chain stuff, it'll probably take longer than a month. So we're not going to do that. I said, we're not moving any fucking furniture. So whatever you had to move, you had to pack in boxes, and we have 3 different colors. We had a color for come with us on the plane, which means it was a check-in bag we flew, okay, which stuff you need immediately when you get there. Then the next color was get shipped after the fact, so it'll arrive in about a few weeks. I'll talk about that in a second. And the last color was store. So we have a storage unit in the United States with some of our furniture and some of our box stuff that we want to keep, that we don't want to bring here. Kind of, so that way, the United States is now one of my flags, even though I don't live there anymore, if that makes sense. At some point, we'll probably get a house in Guadalajara, Mexico. We'll both be citizens, we'll both be legal residents of Mexico as of October of this year. Mexican residency is, it's a process, but it's not super complicated. There's one more step we have to take. We have to take it in Mexico. So let's get settled in Dubai. We're heading out to Mexico, and we're getting our little residency cards. So let me see. Oh, and of course, getting rid of stuff and Goodwill and all that crap. So we had to do that. So she filled up many, many bags of garbage, many, many bags that went to Goodwill. Goodwill is donating to poor people if you don't have that system where you live. And then, as I said at the beginning of this video, we end up shipping, not on the plane with us. So on the plane with us, we took about 14, 15 boxes. So we had to rent a van, take us from Portland to Seattle, because Seattle has a direct flight to Dubai. And we had to hire a guy with a van, take him up. We had to spend the night in a hotel. So we had to unload all of our fucking boxes, then go back to the airport with all our boxes. We had to get a sky cap. We had to wrap the boxes with that blue wrap stuff they had. Load those on the plane. She was really freaking out. We had to count the boxes many times. And then you arrive, you get the sky cap in the Dubai airport to help you out. They take the boxes off. You got to count your boxes again, even when you're jet lagged. That was fun. And then you bring your boxes here to your temporary apartment. So then, right before we left, I hired a shipping company, international shipping company, to ship the 46 boxes that we have, 43 of which are hers, 3 of which are mine. And you can you could ship stuff on a ship, which is cheaper but takes a long time, or you can ship stuff via air, which takes less time but is more expensive. We chose air because, why did we choose air? I forgot now. I made so many little decisions in the past 3 weeks. I don't remember why we had to choose air. There was a very specific, I wanted to do a ship, but I went, oh no, if we do a ship, then this and this and this. So we had to choose air, which is a little more expensive, not a little more, it's like double the price. A little more than double. No, it's about double the price. So a few $1,000 for that, shipping that over. And so those boxes will arrive here in Dubai probably in about 2 weeks. And you can track the shipment. There's a little website, a little web app, and you can click and see where it is and all that junk. Has to sit in customs and things like that. You have to be aware of whatever's in your bag when you move to a new country. Certain countries are pissy about certain things. So I did a YouTube video on how I transported my swords to Dubai, and I hid with my swords on my carry-on bag about $30,000 worth of gold coins. So you have to just be aware of that. So one little piece I had when I traveled here to Dubai is I had to move some of my silver coins here. And so what I did is I had what's called junk silver. So coins minted before 1964 in the United States actually have silver content. So you can buy quarters, nickels, dimes, what have you, prior to 1964, and that's silver. And it looks like just change. So if the airport looks at it, they go, oh, that's just change. We don't care. It's actually silver. So both in the United States and Dubai, I had about $27,000 worth of junk silver. 27,000, 25,000, I forget, in my carry-on bag. So it got flagged when I brought it to the thing, and they just looked at it, and they looked at the coin and said, oh, okay, coins. They put it away. Same thing in Dubai. They scan it again. They had to look at the bag. First time I ever had a bag scan in Dubai, by the way. I brought a lot of weird shit to Dubai. They never cared. But they thought it were poker chips. They said, sir, do you have poker chips in your bag? I said, poker chips? No. Oh, yeah, I just came from Vegas, which is kind of partially true. I was in Vegas a little while ago. I said, no, just quarters, just coins. They said, dirhams. I said, no, dollars, U.S. And they opened my bag, and they pulled out this big, giant bag of junk silver, and it was just quarters and dimes and nickels and shit. And they go, oh, okay, we don't care about that. That's like, that's like $20 or $100 of stuff. And they put it back in my bag, and I went home, $27,000 worth of silver. They had no idea. Woohoo! So that's one way you could transport things like silver and gold across borders. And I did it legally. I declared whatever I had to declare. When you're moving out of the United States, it's not necessary for you to declare certain things. When you move into Dubai, you have to declare. In the United States, it's $10,000. In Dubai, it's $30,000 or $27,000 USD equivalent. So I follow the laws and did all that stuff. And that's what we did. And so as of now, as I said at the beginning of the video, we're on a temporary apartment here, and we're looking at houses next week. We're actually looking at houses. I warned Pink Firefly we may not be able to get a house, but have to get to like an apartment or something, because I don't give a shit. As long as it's big, I don't give a fuck. So we're looking at townhouses, houses, which they call villas here, and some apartments. We'll do that next week. So hopefully in the next week or two, we will be moving into our new permanent home. I'm very excited, and I can finally feel settled. I can finally feel like I have a settled home for the first time in about 2 years. Very nice. Very excited. She's very nervous. I'm very excited. That's usually how this works. She's nervous. I'm excited. If you guys read the Black Dragon Pink Firefly comic book, Black Dragon's always happy and excited, and Pink Firefly's always a little nervous. That's kind of realistic. Matter of fact, issue number 2 comes out on Monday, and that'll be free. I'll do an announcement and everything for that. Free comic book, issue number 2. And then issue number 3 should be ready on about late May or so, because the next thing we're doing after this Henry thing is the NFTs. Those are ready. So more on that a little later. Okay. That's pretty much it on that. How long have I been talking? Hour and 17 minutes. These fucking live streams, man. You're killing me, Smalls. My wife had to explain what that means, because I'm from the 80s. We didn't have "you're killing me, Smalls." That's a 90s saying, because she grew up in the 90s. I grew up in the 80s. So I would say like face. And she'd go, what? Because that's an 80s thing, right? So if you grew up in the 80s, you know what that means. If you didn't grow up in the 80s, you're like, what the fuck's that mean? But she grew up in the 90s. So she would say, "You're killing me, Smalls." And I go, what the fuck is that? It's apparently from a movie called The Sandlot, which I've never seen because I didn't grow up in the 90s. Anyway, let's look at some questions here, last minute comments, and then we'll wrap it up. Let's see. Could you talk a little about being indecisive? It's something I've been struggling with a lot. I feel like it's holding me back big time. This goes back to you are not feeling enough pain. You are not feeling the pain of your life. You're like, well, this sucks, but it's okay. I'm extremely decisive. I'm extremely decisive because I am in touch with my pain, what I don't want, and I'm completely in touch with my mission and what I want in my life, my goals. I review my goals every morning. I have a feeling you're probably not doing that. Every morning, I review my goals. I have affirmations. I have about 20 of them. I say them out the balcony right there or in my other apartment, because I have 2 apartments here at the moment. And then I write down my primary goals. I write them down. So I always know exactly what I'm doing. This is in addition to getting enough sleep, meditating every morning. I do cardio every morning, stretching every morning, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's a lot easier to be decisive when you have all those bases covered. It sounds like you probably don't. And again, I'm in touch with my pain. I'm in touch with why I work and why I do the things I do. Not just the good reasons, but the negative reasons, the things I'm running away from, the fears that I have. I don't have a lot of fears. I have this irrational fear of not having any money when I'm old because I grew up poor. So I have that. So I stay in touch with that. Let's see. What else we got here? Flew out to Japan with a sword. Japanese actually flipped out. Oh, they will. Had to put it in a secure locker on a plane. Yeah, U.S. Customs came up all serious. Oh, yeah. So sort of they laughed and told me to get lost. Yeah, bringing weapons into countries is not a good idea. Let's see. Oh, there's Henry. Cool. You're very welcome, Henry. You were fun. You guys got value from it. Good. Saw your morning routine video being robotic. Yes. So right here, what he's referring to is my entire morning routine is in my phone. Hang on a moment. And it says right there, let's see, where is it? I'm getting old and I can't read shit, so I need fucking reading glasses. It's the only thing about getting older I don't like. Getting older when you're a man is great, except for the eyesight fucking thing. See, I'm holding my phone away from my face. That's what you do when you get old. Daily routine. Okay. Bring this up. There it is. That's it. Wake up. Go pee. Weigh yourself and put into weight tracking. Water and thyroid pill. Testosterone shots. There it is. I'm robotic in the morning. Anyway, could you explain how you pre-plan what to do, what to work on each day so you don't have to think about it when you sit down? Good question. So first, 2 ways of doing it. One way of doing it, the simpler way of doing it, is you decide your to-do list for the next day at the end of the business, the work day for you. So at the end of the day, you take an additional 10 to 15 minutes and you make a very specific to-do list and a daily plan for the very next day. And in some cases, I used to do this. You print it out on a piece of paper. If you want to go crazy with stuff, you fucking print it out on a piece of paper and you slap it down on your desk. So when you sit down at your desk, you look at it, it's right there in your face. Otherwise, you put it on your computer, however you want it, your phone, wherever you wanted it. That's option one. Option two is you can break out the days of the week for certain topics or certain focus areas. May not apply to you. It applies to me because I have a more complicated business life. I have multiple companies and income streams. So I have a day of the week that I do buffer work, which is SW work, which is like bullshit work. I have a content day where I create YouTube videos, podcasts, and things like that, which I haven't been doing lately because of all this move shit. I will be back on track, by the way, with content next week. So I've been getting emails. Why did you stop doing podcasts? Why did you stop doing it? I didn't stop doing it. I just haven't been able to do it for 2 weeks because I've been moving my little wife. So that starts again next week. So I have a content day. I have 2 days a week, which I call expansion days, which I focus on expanding the company, marketing, things like that. So you can designate certain days of the week for certain tasks or certain focus areas if you have a more mature business. That's it. Yes, Investment Henry has 185K subscribers. He is a YouTube star. Well, let's see here. Why don't we do 1 or 2 more questions and I'll wrap it up. And you guys said in the last live stream that you wanted me to do regular live streams. So I will do that. Maybe do 1 a week or something. I haven't really figured out a schedule for how I'm going to integrate this into the new YouTube schedule I'm going to start next week. But I will do this again because you guys seem to like these. So here you go. Do you think you can trust the average lawyer from a law firm you find on Google Maps with getting permanent residence in Paraguay to not completely rip you off, or should you get word of mouth referral? I would get a word of mouth referral in most of South America. Yes. It's a little dangerous down there. It's a little Wild West. I would not just randomly pick a dude off. No, I would not do that. Not in South America. Europe, you can do that, but not South America, no. Dubai, you can certainly do that. South America, no. I just put my desktop into VR mode, maybe so much more productive because it feels cool. Cool. How do you feel about the direction of the metaverse? The metaverse, or the future variation of it, is the future. Whether or not you hate that or not, I know everyone hates Mark Zuckerberg, and I understand. But that's the future. That's where things are going. And like the right-wingish, anti-SJW, anti-woke guys I talked about at the beginning of this video, you can say, this sucks, and sit there like this and be mad the rest of your life. Or you can say, all right, this is how the world is changing. How do I navigate this new world to get what I want? That's the difference between me and most of my right-wing buddies. And I have a lot of right-wing buddies, but that's the difference between me and them. They're all pissed off all the time about everything's changing and bullshit. And it's not the 1950s anymore. And I agree with many of their points, most of their points. But unlike them, I say, yep, it sucks. Now here's what I'm going to do to take action to make sure I live an amazing life in this collapsing, fallen world. Very, very nice. Do you think Ethereum will be at the same price as Bitcoin in the next several years? I don't know about that. Definitely Ethereum will go up, but I don't know if Ethereum will go to Bitcoin's high of 62K or whatever. I don't know. No, maybe. I don't know. Good question. What part of Five Flags do you have left to do? Passports. That's the final piece of my puzzle. I need 2 more passports. Not residencies. I got 6 residencies. I'm good on residencies. I'm good on residencies. I'm good on travel. I'm good on setting up bases. I'm good on banking. I'm good on all that stuff now. That's all done, thank God. The last thing I have to do are those 2 passports. That's the hardest one. That's one that takes the most amount of time. Matter of fact, I just got an email from my Armenian lawyers about my possible Armenian passport. There's a hiccup there. And that's just what happens with this kind of stuff. So that's the next thing I have to do. And then I renounce my American citizenship. And then I'm all done. And then I sit back and pay 5%, 4% taxes. Well, no, when I renounce, I pay 1 or 0% taxes for the rest of my life. If you do online dating and also Five Flags, you mean like me? Yeah. Does that mean you have to be familiar with all the dating sites and all the countries, and would that be difficult? All of your primary countries, all of your living flags. So if you have 2 or 3 living flags, yes, you should be familiar with the dating apps of those 2 or 3 countries. Every country you visit, no. But those 1, 2, 3 flag countries you spend time in, yes. So if you go back and forth between, I don't know, the UK and Colombia, and those are your 2 flags, you should know UK and you should know Colombia in terms of the online dating systems of those countries. Yeah, correct. Right. I'm getting a residency course. Does Armenian residency eventually lead to citizenship? Yes, correct. That is the beauty of Armenian residency. Now, as with all systems where you go from residency to citizenship, it takes several years, and laws and regulations can change in that 3-year time span. And they already have for Armenia. They certainly did for Paraguay, sometimes for the worst, usually for the worst. So it's not a guarantee, but the answer is yes. That's one of the biggest reasons I got Armenian residency. God podcast idea, ask your members to send in their missions and critique them, not the content, but the verbiage. Makes sense. That's a very good idea. That's a very good idea. Very creative. All right, I will do that. I got to remember that. But yeah, I got to remember how to do that. Yes, that's a good idea. What's your advice for someone who's going in their last year of their 20s? It doesn't matter what the last year, you're in your 20s. You're in your 20s, so you're in the breakout phase. Break away from mommy and daddy. Break away from girlfriend if you have one. Break away from your goddamn boss, which means location-independent income from a business you own. Break away. If you're in your 20s, your mission in life when you're in 20s is to break away from all the authority figures. And that's usually mommy and daddy, in some cases girlfriend, and boss at work, your job. Break away. Leave. Leave these people so you can live your own fucking life. That's my advice. Serious question. No, I only do funny questions. Sorry. I'm just kidding. Serious question. Do you think a lifelong underachiever is capable of running a successful location-independent business? Yes, but you need to set your goals accordingly. The answer is yes. But maybe you start out with location-independent income of $25,000 a year. Great. I mean, if you think about this, for a lot of you, okay, I'm a higher income guy. Henry's a higher income guy. Okay, it's easier to talk about, 7-figure incomes. That's not a big deal. Most people watching this content would be really excited, and it'd be a great accomplishment to make $2,000 a month location dependent. Imagine you made $2,000 a month location dependent. That's awesome. That's really good. That's better than most human beings will ever get. $2,000 a month location dependent, that is a totally doable goal. So the answer is yes. Any other anti-aging tips? Diet, mentality, and others. Well, you know what? The bottom line for anti-aging, I'm sorry to say, is don't drink, don't do drugs, and don't smoke anything. That right there is like 60% of it. This is why I look this way. I've never been drunk in my entire life. I've never smoked anything in my entire life. Never done any drugs. That's easy. And then it's all the usual stuff that I already talked about. Sleep, water intake, moisturizer on your skin every morning, a skin regimen in the morning, a skin regimen in the evening. Stress, calm the fuck down. Stress makes you age. Exercise, particularly cardio, but weightlifting too. Exercise on a regular basis. Monitoring your testosterone and all of your key 4 hormones, which is testosterone, estradiol, T3, which is thyroid, and vitamin D. All those things. Anti-aging is not one thing. It's a package. It's a package deal. It's a package of a bunch of things. And obviously, if you have good genetics, then work your genetics. Pink Firefly has really good genetics for aging. I do not. I don't have bad genetics for aging, but I have normal genetics. She has really good genetics. So she can ride her genetics for a lot longer than I can. The day will come. She's in her 40s, so the day will come. So she's starting to get nervous about that. But there you go. Do I have any left-wing friends? Yes, I have left-wing friends. I'm from Portland, Oregon, man. Everyone's left-wing there. You fucking kidding me? Yes, I have left-wing friends. And they start talking about that shit, and then I just start laughing. So, yes, I have left-wing friends. I agree with left-wingers on, well, actually, I don't anymore. I used to agree with left-wingers on social issues. You should be able to fuck whoever you want. As long as it's adult and consensual, fuck whoever you want. I don't fucking care. I don't care about gay people. Do whatever the fuck you fucking want. Now, today's left-wingers are Nazis. So I don't agree with them there. Just like today's right-wingers are for big, giant governments, today's left-wingers are fucking social Nazis. All these things you're not allowed to say. Oh, Jesus Christ. Collapsing Western world. Best buildings to live in Dubai. Well, there's two areas in Dubai that are cool. There is the marina and there's what's called downtown. Those are the two clumpy areas of high-rises. Downtown is cooler and more trendy and it's just more badass, but it's much more expensive, is where the Burj Khalifa is. The marina where I currently live, temporarily for a year, you get a lot more for your money, but it's not as cool. It's not as exciting, but it's very nice, very pleasant, very quiet, or quieter, I say, than downtown, less traffic and things like that. The water is very nice. So those are the two areas you really need to pick. The third area would be out in the suburbs, which is probably where we're moving. So what I'll probably do is get a house out in the suburbs and then an office in downtown, a cheaper office or something like that. So, yeah. How about some Alpha 2.0 live streams, more women stuff? You know, it's a good question. I should do that, huh? I should do an Alpha Male 2.0 live stream, maybe 2 a month. All right, maybe. I don't know. Now, here's the deal. I can't do too many live streams that open Q&As because I charge money for this in the SMIC program. Although in that program, they're allowed to ask me coaching questions instead of just general questions like this. So it's the dynamic is a little different, but I got to be careful about how much of my time I give away on this stuff. And I can't do very many live streams a month. I don't have time, guys. Look how long this fucking taking me. This is an hour and a half. An hour and a half of my time is worth a lot of money. And unlike Henry, I only have 6,000 fucking YouTube followers. So it's not like I can justify this kind of time, a lot of this time. So I'd be very careful about how long these live streams are and how much Q&A I allow going forward. I'm doing this now because I haven't done any YouTube videos in 2 weeks. Right? And I haven't done any podcasts or any of that shit, so I'm just being nice. The weighted blanket you talk about are great. Yes, they're awesome. Gift winner Neppy, she loves it. Always put some extra sugar on it when you hook up. I have my weighted blanket in my other apartment right now, and I have another one in the United States that is in storage. I might buy another one. I don't think I need another one, though. You know what? I need one for Paraguay. I need to get my weighted blanket for Paraguay. Yeah. What do you think about Monero, all its hype and its privacy? I think it's awesome. Monero is the shit. I also like Pirate Chain. That's the other one that's the up-and-comer wannabe now. I like both of them. Yeah, I love it. And again, whether or not Monero is used as a currency, it is. I don't want Monero to turn into a Bitcoin where it becomes a de facto investment instead of a currency, an asset. But I'm a big believer in Monero. Fuck yes, I take Monero. You can pay me in Monero if you buy any of my stuff. Hello, sir. You're very polite. I'm interested to move out of Pakistan. I'm also doing drop shipping business on Amazon. Cool. Age 24. Awesome. That's great, man. Should I settle on any Western country at this age with a drop shipping business? Okay, here's my standard answer for people who live outside of the West looking to move out of their countries. I don't recommend you move to the West because if you become successful in the West, you will have to then move again. Now, I realize that living in the UK is better than living in Pakistan. Trust me, I understand that. But there are other places you can go in the world that are outside the West that aren't collapsing. So yes, you're moving up to a higher standard of lifestyle to a country that is constantly dropping every year. That's not a good long-term solution. Now, you said you're 24. In your case, maybe that's fine. Maybe you wouldn't mind moving in another 10 years or 5 years or 3 years. Some of these countries are collapsing pretty quick, though. So that's my general advice. I just don't recommend it. What's the youngest age you think is reasonable to start to consider renouncing? For renouncing, you wouldn't renounce at 18. It's not about age, about income. If you make less than $108,000 a year and never really planning on making more than that, there's no reason to renounce if you're in America. Because if you move out of the United States and spend a max of 35 days a year back in the United States, your first $108,000 is tax-free. So you don't need to renounce. Now, here's my problem. I make many multiples of $108,000 a year. So I have to pay some tax, even though I fucking don't live in the United States anymore. So that's why I want to renounce. Most of you don't make the money I make, and most of you will never make the money I make because you probably don't want to. You don't want to work as hard as me, and that's fine. But that's the issue. Now, if you make more than $108,000, or you plan on shortly making more than $108,000, and you're a hardcore libertarian motherfucker like me, you don't like paying any taxes, then yeah, renounce. But that's a decision you need to make based on your income, not based on your age. How beneficial has your Oura Ring been? It's right there. And how do you know the data is accurate? So some of the data is not accurate. The sleep data in terms of when you're moving and things like that is, I've done a lot of research. That is accurate. Things like your caloric burn is anywhere from 25 to 30% off. So I deduct 25% from my goal for those kinds of things. You just do the research. On most of the numbers I keep track of in terms of sleep, it's very accurate. Had to charter a private jet to get out of Canada. Yes. I've heard of people doing this. Yes. If I join other SMIC, could I find other guys to charter a flight with me? Possibly. Sure. Been to Poland. I have not been to Poland. I don't even think it's on my list. I will eventually get to, now that I live in Dubai, I can hit Europe wherever I want, whenever I want to go. So I'm going to be hitting a lot of European countries over the next 2-3 years. So I'm certainly going to hit Poland. The answer is yes. Please tell me your thoughts about it. I've never been. Love to. Polish women are pretty attractive. I've been with a few Polish women. Woo! You said you have a one-time exception for getting drunk. Don't say that too loudly. Pink Firefly's in the next room, and she's going to come right at her and say, he needs to get drunk with me. Would you do it as a get-together with your subscribers? I would not. God knows what would come out of my mouth. As blunt as I am, with very little filter as I am sober, can you imagine the shit that would come out of my mouth drunk? Are you fucking kidding me? I don't even know what will come out of my mouth. God damn. I'm scared that I will hurt my wife's feelings. I'll start talking about FBs and God knows what I'll say. Jesus Christ. Any thoughts on Albania? Albania. You are located on the Adriatic. This is a very old song from the 80s. I'm sorry, I'm being old. Albania is has no government, essentially. It's kind of the Wild West. And so if you want to live in a Wild West country, I don't at this point in my life, I'm 50, then great. If you don't, then don't. But that's a Wild West country. What's the first thing I need to do when I'm moving to a different country and I don't have a business yet? Get income. Get a job. Which is unfortunate, but get a job. I still sometimes get mild panic attacks, suffer from anxiety. My daughter has anxiety, and so does my dad. Interesting. I don't have it. I wonder why did genetics skip me? I don't get it. Is it best to sort these things out before starting a business? Depends how bad it is, and I'm not a psychologist. If it's really horrible and debilitating, yes, get it sorted. If it's something that happens every once in a while, start your fucking business. What ethnicities are your FBs from Manchester, and how did you meet them? I don't know if I can talk about that because of the country I happen to be residing in at the moment. They have rules about talking about that kind of thing publicly, about this sexual stuff. Ethnicity, they are white blonde girls. What Daddy likes white blonde girls. That's what Daddy likes. Okay? Even in South America. And those are some crazy bitches. There's two in particular. They are crazy bitches. In a good way. How bad will it get for Alpha Male 1.0's new age we're going into? And what will that involve? I think you asked that on my last live stream. Also in Dubai, there are loads of people and chicks in the UK living there. Yes, many people in the UK, many. Here's my joke. My joke is all the hot girls who are in the UK are all in Dubai. Because you go to London, they ain't there. I mean, people in London hate it when I say that. Guys get a little pissed off at, right? That's why pickup artists in London say go after the women who are foreigners visiting London, who just moved to London. Why do they say that? Because the local girls there, right? But you come here, What the hell? All the hot girls are here. It's great. And as an American, the UK accent sounds very sexy. Not the Manchester accent, not that one. Okay, but like the Lady Diana, hello. Oof, shit. Especially when you're, grew up poor and lower middle class. I mean, you have no class and no style like I do. That's great. Let's see. Let's do a few more questions because it's getting late here. It is now past midnight, and Pink Firefly is looking kind of hot. I got to hit that before I go to bed. So I got to wrap this up. A high-end MLTR is going to stay with you forever. Correct. No woman's going to stay with you forever. That's not how it works. How long can you expect, generally speaking, out of a high-end MLTR in terms of years? What would the range be? Depends on many factors. Depends on your your relationship management skill, number one by far. Also depends on her age. Those two things. If she is, boy, that gets complicated. I can't just flat out say if she's younger this and older that. It really depends on various factors. You can, before her first listen, Fitty, you're looking at easily 2 years, probably longer. Would you go for a multi-citizenship at your income level, and what's your opinion on it? No, I would not. I don't want to spend $1 million buying my citizenship. No. Hell no. And it's European. I don't want a European citizenship. No. What do you think about Dogalong, Mars, and Bitgert? I have no idea what the fuck these things are. Thoughts on Andrew Tate? I answered that in the last live stream. Do you think a big part of the collapse of the West is the logical consequence of feminism allowed to run its course? That is a component of it. Yes. Yes. Women take over positions of power, workforce, and making decisions. Yes. Now, here's the problem with you guys. I don't know if you're a right winger. You probably are. Here's the problem. The right-wing narrative over the past 25 years is that white Western men were doing everything perfectly. And then all of a sudden, from outer space, a bunch of feminists from outer space invaded the earth, invaded America, or a bunch of Mexicans invaded America, or a bunch of socialists from Planet Socialism invaded America and forced the strong, confident white Western men to act like socialist morons. No, what happened was white Western men turned into fucking pussies and allowed these people to do whatever they want. That was the problem. The problem is white Western men destroyed their own civilizations. It's not like they're completely innocent and didn't do anything wrong. Sorry, and I lived through a lot of this. I saw the 1970s. I saw what men were doing, 1980s. It's not like, white Western men are just completely innocent in terms of the collapse of the West. No, they have their blood on their hands too. They could have said, no, we're not passing that law. Go fuck off. And if you don't like it, divorce me. They didn't say that. They said, okay, honey, I'm sorry. Yes, okay. There you go. That's why I blame men for this stuff, not women. Although I do blame women too. What are some investments to put money in that will do well if the Western world does badly? Precious metals and crypto. To speak simply. Boomer women pretty much run Western governments now. Yes, and it's because of boomer men. Correct. Assuming you work a job, is it usually a bad idea to work for a female boss as a man? No. I've had female bosses back when I had jobs, and I got along with them great. It's fine. Another question, sir. Can I settle any country other than the West with my business on Amazon? Of course you can. The answer is yes. If a man has $40,000 to his name and hasn't been laid over a year, what would you do first? What is the $40,000 to getting laid? Are you asking me permission to go fuck a hooker? You can do that if you want. Depends on many other factors. I don't really understand your question. How familiar are they with Newcastle, Geordie, and Liverpool Scouse accents? Liverpool, Apol. Data Cardi did a whole thing about Paul talking to John in heaven. Hey, John. No, what did he say? He said, John Lennon is like, Paul. No, shit, I'm mixing up. John says to Paul, you can tell I'm not a Beatles fan. I'm an Elvis guy. John says to Paul, you're doing the thing with the Kanye West. Oh, yeah. Oh, does he have a woman who inspires him? Oh, yeah, that big Kim Kardashian. And then he says, oh, what does she do? Oh, well, she takes pictures of her bum with her phone. Oh, really? How can you take a picture of a bum with a phone? Well, He goes for like 5 minutes. It's fucking great. Out of the countries you have residency in, which is the easiest to get citizenship? Hi there. Are you getting sleepy? Oh, okay. Pink Firefly doesn't feel good. It sucks. It sucks. My wife doesn't feel good. I hate it. Out of the countries you have residency in, so let's do two. There's only 2 or 3 more questions. 2 more questions. We're gonna wrap it up. Out of the countries you have residency in, which is the easiest to get residency in? Armenia, if you can afford a few $1,000s. It's going to cost you a few $1,000s. Armenia is the easiest and fastest by far, but it does cost a few $1,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. You still plan to get a flag for Vietnam? Yes. Mining stocks or mining royalty stocks? Only if you really know what you're doing. That is speculation on steroids. I have not purchased any mining stocks, but I'm aware of people who do. I love Doug Casey. You better know what you're doing, and you better do a lot of fucking research. I'm not saying no. I'm saying you better know what you're doing. You better know what you're doing. What is your opinion on rap music? It's fine. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Rocking my peers. Put suckers in fear. See, again, 80s. You look cool. Do you see old man? Yeah. The Bill Berg segment on John Lennon being pussy whipped is the best thing ever. It is fantastic. You're talking about the Yoko Ono. She's taking the tambourine. And the other Beatles like, God damn it. Oh, yeah, that's hilarious. You're right. What do you think of Tunisia? I have a Tunisian passport and a German one. I don't have a lot of hard opinions about Tunisia. I haven't done my research on that. Where do you run setting your bank account? Really depends. A lot of good places. Panama's a good place. Georgia's a great place for taxes. Singapore is fantastic if you can do it. Colombia or Paraguay, I'm torn between the two. They're both amazing. They're just very different. Depends on your priorities. Colombia has the most beautiful women on earth, and Colombia is a very fast rising country with a lot more infrastructure, but it's a lot more chaotic there. Paraguay, women are cute, but with big asses, but they're not gorgeous like Colombians. Paraguay is more of a second world nation. They are rising slowly, very subdued and quiet. So very different, 2 very different countries. I mean, you must prioritize starting a business or getting laid first. I'm not broke yet. I haven't had sex in over a year and have no game. This is my standard answer. Which one bothers you more? Sounds like the not getting laid bothers you more. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much does that bother you? In terms of not getting laid, at scale of 1 to 10, how much does it bother you not having your business? By the way, that's the last question. I'm going to wrap it up. Which one bothers you more? Focus on that first. Okay? That's exactly what I did. I was at a point in my life right after my divorce a billion years ago where the woman side of my life was pissing me off more than my business life. So I put my whole heart in my woman life for about 2 years, and I got really good at it. And then I said, okay, that's good. I'm good with that now. Now I'm going to hit my business hard I have since 2009 or so. Okay? Okay. All right, guys. I have to let you go. I am getting very sleepy. This is my version of sleepy. Hopefully we will be back to normal YouTube content next week. Click the link below if you have any interest in doing business with Henry and learning how to trade options. If it's for you, if it's not, that's fine. And I will do another live stream, a briefer one, probably next week at some point. Just stay tuned to my channel and my mailing list and my Instagram and my TikTok and all the shit that I do. Cool. All right, guys, have fun.